little girl yawned and got up to brush her teeth, found herself a little red monster. A scream scared her mother. Mei hid in the corner and dared not look in the mirror again. She couldn't believe it. She looked at her furry belly. She thought she was dreaming. Her mother came to hear the sound. Mei was so nervous she was bouncing around. Her mother thought she was celebrating her bar mitzvah. Panicked, Mei looked around and tried to escape. When she saw her mother enter, she hid in the bathtub in a panic. She yelled for her mother to leave. Her mother said she couldn't understand. Her mother continued to comfort her. Then she took out the medicine and hot water bag she had prepared for her. Just as she pulled back the shower curtain, the kitchen alarm sounded. Her mother smelled that her porridge was cooking. Mei took the opportunity to hide in her room. She thought it was just a frontier dream and rushed to wake up. She turned around and closed her eyes and started to breathe deeply. Suddenly the cute big ears disappeared. She rushed to the mirror. Then she breathed a long sigh of relief. The big tail disappeared as well. She grabbed 2 big combs and brushed her face to soothe herself. She finally managed to turn back into herself. But when she got excited, she turned into a monster again. She found the trick. She closed her eyes and folded her hands. Without distractions, she held her breath and concentrated. Successfully transformed again. Looking at her red hair in the mirror, she could only accept it reluctantly. At this moment, she was so nervous that she didn't dare to breathe a word. On the way to school, she was even more cautious. Her mother tried to talk to her, but she turned around and ran away. She arrived at the school gate gingerly. She took a deep breath as she watched her classmates playing inside. Her friends saw her acting strangely. She was wearing a strange red hat. They kept chasing after her asking what was wrong. Xiao Ming laughed at the situation. A fist of excitement blew up. Then the panda tail also emerged. She hastily covered the tail and ran into the classroom in a flash. Just after the class started and found that her mother was still outside. The students who heard the noise climbed to the window to look. Mei's eyes were red with nervousness. I didn't realize that her mother was, thinking that she had forgotten her tampon. After hearing this, Mei directly transformed. The classroom was filled with dust. The little panda came out of the cage again. The mother found out the truth and went after her. She panicked and ran out of the classroom. She hid in the bathroom and didn't know what to do. Nearly scared the boy in the next class. Then, in a panic, she tumbled out of the window. She just wanted to go home and hide at this moment. The large body in bright colors in the street is really a bit of a show. She ended up running on the roof. She managed to reach the last intersection. The moment she landed, she hit the wall of her house. She finally ran into the house, crying and sniffling. When her mother arrived home, she was still using the comb. She was still combing her hair. Dad came to see the situation and exclaimed, "Why did it happen so early?" It turns out that in order to protect her children during the war years, her ancestors, she begged the gods to give her the power of the red panda. Since then, this power has been passed down from generation to generation. But the power can become dangerous due to emotional instability. When Mei heard this, she wanted to tear down the ancestral shrine. Her mother stopped her, because it can be cured. When the full moon comes, the panda spirit can be sealed away. But during this time, the panda must not appear too much. Otherwise, the ritual would be invalidated. Her father redecorated her room. She practiced hard to control her emotions. Suddenly her best friends came to her door. They found out that their favorite F4 group was coming to town for a concert. Mei was so excited that she pulled back the curtains. The friends were scared to death. Mei grabbed the 3 of them and told them to calm down. The kids were suffocated to the point of exhaustion. They just nodded their heads. When they found out the truth, they think Mei is even cooler. Who doesn't love a fluffy tummy and a tail that moves? But Mei was bawling her eyes out. She's so sloppy and smelly. She couldn't even see anyone, let alone go to a concert. Her friends hugged her tightly. Mei miraculously came back to life. It turns out that the love of her friends can neutralize the panda's emotions. In order to go to the concert, she challenged her parents. The forest was deforested. The sad orangutan. The loss of second place. Dad served out the final test. The moment Mei opened the box, the meow's watery eyes almost made her cute. She closed her eyes and went into meditation. The love of her best friend stabilized her again. She passed the test with flying colors, but no matter how much she assured herself, her mother looked at the handsome boys. In the end, she did not agree to go to the concert, because she knew that if the panda appeared again, it would be very dangerous. With the money for the concert tickets, they began to carry out various activities in school. They even started selling clothes with little panda patterns. All the goods were piled up under Mei's bed. The day of the concert was approaching. For the last ticket money, she accepted Xiao Ming's invitation to organize a little panda party for him. But before she left, she was blocked by a group of aunties in front of her house. Mei's grandmother arrived. She found out about the red panda on the news. Mei was surrounded by her relatives. She thought Xiao Ming's party would be ruined. She had to go to bed on the pretext that she had to go to bed. Grandma came into the room to remind her again. At the party, the classmates were ready to leave. The doorbell finally rang. Mei came dressed as a panda, but Xiao Ming was not sold. The friends understood, willing to give up their own tickets. Let the other buddies go to the concert. Millie thought they should work together. Looking at the lost friends, Mei decided to take a risk behind the scenes. Little Panda's birthday party begins. She brought the house down with her vivacity. Her classmates are having fun riding on her. After her mother sent her relatives away, she came to her room to tuck her daughter in. She found out the secret under her bed. At that time, Mei was still at Xiao Ming's house, on the rooftop with her friends watching the stars. Suddenly the radio reported, the F4 group will come to town on the 25th. Mei heard and exploded. The 25th was the day of the ceremony. The careless Abby had misread the poster. Ming from downstairs asked her to continue the show. When she didn't listen to him, he said something bad. In the heat of the moment, Mei jumped on him. She was so excited that she completely lost control. Luckily, her mother arrived in time to stop her. The party broke up. Mei was taken back home. The full moon ceremony begins. The relatives began to chant to help the portal open. The Taoist priest began to summon the spirit of the red panda. Mei arrives at a bamboo forest. She met her ancestor Xine. A spiritual realm appeared in front of her. Once she passes through this mirror, the red panda would return to nature and be sealed forever. She strove to break free. She turned around and saw her reluctant self. The time she had spent with the panda was still fresh in her mind. She turned back to the mirror and gave up. She wanted to leave the panda behind. She defied the people and ran out of the door. Her mother's jade pendant was accidentally broken. She fell to the ground and lost control of her anger. Sealed for years, the panda broke free from the jade pendant, and Mei was rushing to the concert at this moment. After arriving at the stadium, she saw her buddies making a splendid appearance. F4 group concert officially started. The little ones were so excited that tears flowed down their faces. Suddenly a big hole was ripped in the roof of the stadium. Mom is here. I didn't expect that the red panda, transformed by Mom, was hundreds of meters high. She had completely lost control. It is urgent to start the ritual again to seal her. Mei was in a hurry and deliberately angered. Mom ran around the stadium. Father pushes a cart and draws a portal. Relatives began to chant, but the mother is too big to be effective. Mother and daughter argue endlessly. Halfway through the full moon, Mei had no choice but to hit her mother with a powerful blow. Her mother fell down heavily, but half of her body was lying outside the circle. Mei's thin body could not pull her. Grandmother smashed her jade bracelet. She wanted to save her daughter. The whole family came together. An army of baby pandas was born. They finally pulled their mother into the circle with all their might. Suddenly music starts to play. The little ones brought in help. A wave of sound came over them. The teleportation door was successfully opened. A green pillar of light shot up to the sky. They successfully arrived at the bamboo forest. Grandmother led them to seal the panda one by one. The mother also went through the mirror. With the encouragement of her daughter, and Mei, because she could control herself like her ancestor Xine. Like the ancestor Xine, she was able to control her emotions freely, successfully kept the little panda. Everyone has a beast of their own in their heart, hiding the chaos, confusion and weirdness of ourselves. Many people are afraid to release them. Mei has done it. How about